Hello and welcome back, YouTube. It is Friday, March 10th, 2022, 9:48 a.m. and yeah, my camera is still twitching. Still shooting video on the iPhone, even though I got my Obamaphone, my new Obamaphone number 4. Got it on Wednesday evening. In fact, that's the last video I shot. It was Wednesday evening when I was on my way from the so-called girlfriend's place to work and swung by my place just to mostly feed my cats, but I needed to get ready for work. I needed to swing by home because I had my safety shoes and my vest in my work bag here. And of course my safety vest got my ID on it. But yeah, it was a good thing I swung by here because I got my phone, didn't have to stress about porch pirates disappearing with it. Wow, the lawn and the weeds kind of overgrown there. That's not looking good. This property here owned by the same people that own the property I'm on. In fact, they pretty much own this entire block except for like the last 3 lots behind me. Anyway, I'm just kind of surprised to see how bad this yard is looking because the yard in front of my place looks really good right now. Anyway, so I'm a little embarrassed to admit this, but I still haven't been able to use the new Obamaphone. Opened it up at work during my lunch break, as I kind of figured I would. In fact, I might have even opened it up during my my first break Wednesday night. I haven't worked since Wednesday night, by the way. But I think I'm gonna really like the phone once I'm able to use it. It's got a headphone jack on it, analog headphone jack, which is an older style feature that has been phased out of most smartphones, and that's something that I really like. And one feature that it brings back that I haven't seen in any kind of smartphone in a long time is it has a removable, replaceable battery. That's a feature that's been phased out by phased out by most smartphone manufacturers a long time ago. That used to be something that was a really big deal to me. Whoa, yikes! Wearing my Adidas flats. I slipped on the water right there. Yikes! Gotta be more careful with that shit. Anyway, yeah, back in my cab driving days, sometimes I wouldn't be home for quite some time. Just be out, working really long hours in the cab, and stay the night, get a booty call throughout the evening, stay the night someplace else, and just sometimes it'd be a couple days before I'd make it home, and I liked having. I used to have like an external charger for my smartphone battery, and yeah, I used to have like sometimes 2 or 3 different batteries for my phones. I try to keep multiple batteries charged up. That way, if one dies, I could just, while I'm out and about, I wouldn't have to worry about charging my phone. I just hot swap the battery and be good to go for however many hours that battery was good for. Always trips me out how tall they pile up the pallets out here. Somebody there delivering tires. Yeah, I never noticed this until recently, that a lot of the racks used for display here are actually mounted on pallets and presumably moved around the inside of Costco via forklift. There's still part of me that really wants to apply to be a forklift driver at this Costco, although these days I really like my job at Amazon. So there's that. Don't have any scheduled overtime for this week. I haven't been able to pick up any VET shifts. Although they didn't. That's how last weekend was. I ended up picking up a full shift and a half shift last weekend over the app. But yeah, history not repeating itself today. There hasn't been any VET offered since I left. Since I ended my shift Thursday morning. Oh man, I just totally lost my train of thought. What the hell was I talking about? I completely lost my train of thought. Go me. Wow, I completely lost my train of thought. Well, on that note, I'll be back. I'm practically to the front entrance of Costco, and I think today's a good day to just pop in there and get a hot dog and a drink to start my day out. Oh yeah, I was talking about Obamaphone number 3 and my issues with it. Yeah, I'll explain that as soon as I get back out. Oh wow, this is new. I didn't see this last time I was here at Costco. They actually sell cars, not Costco cars, but apparently Volvo cars. There's now the Costco auto program. Yeah, I still have no interest in a new car. Not from Costco, not from anyone. Well, that was entertaining. As I was coming out of Costco, the gal that checks the receipts looked very confused because I didn't have any stuff nor a receipt. Yeah, I just popped in to get a hot dog and a drink for $1.50. It's you really can't beat a meal with a drink for $1.50, not these days. Anyway, that definitely hit the spot. It's not that I don't have any food at home, but nothing I really feel like eating right now. Which reminds me, I should probably get a loaf of bread before I head home, since I think I'm down to just the heels on my last loaf. So as I was mentioning in the last segment, not the little short segment about the Costco car sales program, part of me wishes I'd have grabbed a receipt, or what do you call it, grabbed a flyer about it, just because I'm curious about it. But yeah, as I've stated before, I'm not the slightest bit interested in buying a new car. Personally, I think the prices of new cars these days is absolutely ridiculous, and I think I'm gonna go this direction. I was contemplating just walking kind of freeform across the parking lot, but yeah, what the heck, I'll use the pedestrian pathways that are actually here that nobody ever actually uses. But yeah, I feel the price for new cars is just absolutely ridiculous these days, and yeah, the thought of buying a new car and having it depreciate is just not appealing to me in the slightest. Nor is the thought of having a car note or having to pay full coverage insurance for a vehicle. Not that I don't have good enough credit to get it. I mean, car loans are notoriously easy to get, and I constantly get emails and things in the mail, actual physical mail, telling me that I qualify for a new car from here or there or whatever company. It's like, yeah, I'm sure I do. Not interested. Some interesting progress. It's finally visible. What's going on with the new Costco gas facility? Definitely more pumps than the current one. I like that they're actually leaving a little lawn and some trees in there. That's nice. And I see that they're putting a sidewalk on the other side there, adjacent to the walkway that goes down to Oak Street. Although I'm a little dismayed that it doesn't look like they're putting one in over here. I guess they figure there's a sidewalk on this side, and besides, who walks to gas pumps, right? Yeah. The crosswalk that was left behind to go over to where Angel's Trumpet was sure looks out of place now, though. Oh, anyway, I'm on my way nearest T-Mobile store, which is on the other side of 44th Street, just south of Thomas, in the same little tiny strip mall where the Starbucks is. It's funny, basically I got two Starbucks directly across the street from each other here. There's a Starbucks over there by the T-Mobile store, and there's also a Starbucks inside the Fry's up ahead on the right. For some reason I'm thinking there's one inside the Target as well. I don't know, just thinking about how many Starbucks there are in such close proximity to each other kind of makes me think of that one scene in the second Austin Powers movie, where you see in the background of Dr. Evil's lair that there's a Starbucks location there. Yeah, absolutely not a fan of Starbucks. I'm not really a coffee person, so that's part of it. But even if I was to get coffee, yeah, I'd use my Sip and Save and get functionally free coffee at Circle K. It looks like she's having kind of a bad day. Dang, so much trash on the side of the landscaping here. This area didn't used to ever be trashy at all when I moved here, but now just trash thrown about the bushes. And honestly, I think a lot of that has to do with how there's been such an increase in homeless people camping around this area. Still tripping on the fact that there's Lime scooters staged up and down 44th Street now. I'm really curious how long that will last, and I haven't seen anybody actually riding them, but I do notice they're kind of moving around. So somebody's either riding them or moving them around, one or the other. So yeah, as I said, I'm on my way to the T-Mobile store, and as I was mentioning before, I went to Costco. I got my new Obamaphone, and one of the features it has, which has kind of been lost with modern smartphones. Excuse me, I'm getting a little distracted. Nice. So anyway, yeah, the replaceable, replaceable and hot swappable battery is a feature that I feel has been missing from smartphones for quite a while, and I was pretty excited to open up the box and see that my new Obamaphone has that, and it has the battery in a little like anesthetic type bag, and then the phone was in another bag. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I just need to pop the battery in the phone and start her up. And damned if I've been able to figure out how to open the freaking phone. Like, I'm looking at it and I'm expecting, back in the days when I had phones like that, usually there's these days there's a little spot on the back cover with a little plastic plate where you just kind of pop your fingernail in it and it pops right open. Yeah, not finding that on my new phone whatsoever. So I look at the little quick start guide manual that comes with it, and it says, in fact, let me bust that out right now, except I don't think I want to stop right here. Yeah, I think if I sit right down there to look at the manual, somebody's probably going to come out of the Arcadia Walk office thinking I'm a homeless squatter and tell me to move on. So I do want to stop and show you all this though before I get into the T-Mobile store. Yeah, just squat right up here on the left. Yeah, the manual that came with this thing, I'm so disappointed with it, because it's so far not helpful whatsoever. Okay, so this bag, which I'm just using to help carry my stuff. I got my, oh, come on, open, goddammit. Got the box that I got got from Assurance Wireless, which is a subsidiary of T-Mobile. And that's my old Obamaphone, the one with the completely smashed screen. Which apparently I let die. Yeah, it's been a while since I plugged in. I really appears dead right now. Darn it. So this is the new one here. It's made by A&S, which I've never heard of. And like, yeah, the back cover is textured plastic, obviously plastic. I'm hearing scratching on it. But I don't see a notch anywhere on this thing. And so I look at the manual to see if maybe there's some trick to opening it. This is Assurance Wireless. Welcome to Assurance Wireless, your quick start guide featuring how to activate your service, phone basics, additional services. And there's kind of the layout of the phone. It does look like the phone that I got. And right at the start here, get your phone ready. Insert the battery. Find the notch on the back cover. Using your fingernail, lift up gently to open the back cover. Yeah, well, I failed at the first step because I absolutely did not find the notch on the back cover. I searched and searched and searched for the notch. Yesterday morning, when I got home from work, called the 1-800 number for Assurance Wireless, and I gotta admit, one of the most frustrating experiences I've ever had with a customer service representative. Now, granted, I don't know how I was expecting this woman to help me over the phone. I mean, I was thinking maybe she could send me a picture via email of that specific model phone that shows exactly where the notch is, you know, with like a zoomed in, a picture that zoomed in on where the notch is, and has an arrow pointing at it, and then showing what it looks like with it opened, something of that nature. But no, once again, I was connected with somebody with a very difficult to understand, well, somewhat difficult to understand Asian accent. Now there's the T-Mobile store right there. Probably gonna have to walk around this little wall here. Phoenix loves to put these walls up to separate strip malls and businesses from the riffraff that walks on the sidewalks. Because, of course, if you're not driving to the parking lot, you're less than human. So, anyway, yeah, I can't just. I don't know, I wish they had the businesses like right up against the sidewalk, with parking in the rear and entrances on both sides. That's a lot nicer. But then again, I see what a lot of riffraff like walks around here, and I kind of get it. Yeah, that sucks. There's Route 44. Nice to see it up and functioning. Oh, there's a Jimmy John's here. I think there was a Starbucks there, but so unaware there's a Jimmy John's. That's good to know. Anyway, yeah. So she's just basically saying the same thing that the manual says. She's like, well, find the notch. Just, you know, put your fingernail in the notch. I'm like, ma'am, I'm not finding a notch. I've looked on the phone. She's like, it's on the left side. I'm like, I'm not finding a notch on the right side, left side, top side, bottom side, underside. I'm simply not finding a notch. And then she's finally like, well, can you, I said, I need some help with this. I said, I can't get this thing open to put the battery in it. And she keeps telling me the same thing over and over. I'm like, well, you know, can you give me a picture of the phone that shows where the notch is? Because I'm holding it in my hand and I'm not seeing a notch anywhere. And then she finally starts like, well, did you have somebody you live with or a neighbor or someone that can help you with this? Dude, you're customer service. Like, what kind of customer service directs their customer to have some random from their household or their neighborhood help them with it? I don't know. To me, that just seemed like some next level shit customer service. Anyway, a lot of the materials from Assurance Wireless try to play off that they're not a subsidiary of T-Mobile, but she did eventually ask if I had T-Mobile stores near me, which seems like it's like, really? Like, you're looking at the screen, you see I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, and you're so detached from Phoenix that you don't know there's T-Mobile in Phoenix. lame. I mean, and why should somebody who's probably in the Philippines know that there's T-Mobile in Phoenix? I don't know. It seems like it's part of their job to know that. Anyway, I was like, yeah, there's T-Mobile locations all over. I live in Phoenix. Phoenix is a big city. And she's like, okay. She said, well, if I go here, they'll help me. So I'm about to go in. Hopefully I get some help. I'm probably going to look like a complete idiot for not being able to figure out how to open this phone, but I absolutely did not find a notch on the phone anywhere, and could not get the back off to put the battery in. So hopefully these people here can help me and don't completely look down on me for being an Assurance Wireless customer, or refuse to help me because I'm an Assurance Wireless customer and not a quote-unquote T-Mobile customer. Well, they helped me out. They did. She got it open and got the battery in the phone. And actually, I put the battery on my phone myself. But she managed to figure out how to get the back panel off. And it is not. Oh, look, more limes. Nice. It was not at all. Oh, this is cool. Now both of them don't have it. This one doesn't have it. But check this one out. It's actually got a rubberized phone holder. Oh, I put my Obamaphone back in the box. Just gonna stick it in there and see how well it held it. That's a nice touch. I like that. I like that statue. That's cool. Quality public art right there. Wow, look at that. The marble. Chunk of marble from the back is just completely coming undone. You know, people have been pulling on it to get that to happen, but damn, why don't they fix that? Oh man, and somebody defaced it. That's kind of sad. Oh, they've got two of them. I never noticed these. Falcon Corporate Center. Somehow I never noticed there's one of these on each side of that entrance there. And I don't even know how many times I've walked by this street and drove by. Never noticed. I've driven in that driveway and never noticed that before. So yeah, I've not been back to this Burger King since, I want to say, New Year's Day, when I went here and very specifically ordered a 32-ounce drink and was told that the large was the 32-ounce. And then I was handed a 44-ounce drink. That shit straight pissed me off. I damn near threw it at her. Oh, anyway, walking back over to Fry's. Oh, and in case you're wondering why I'm walking, yeah, I realized that my plates are expired on my Saturn. Yeah, that's fabulous. Oh, look, some bum left their sign here. Just need food. Please, anything helps. Anything is appreciated. I think this intersection has big buttons. Just gotta wait for the light. I think it comes after this left arrow. If I'm remembering the cycle, the left arrow, and then I get a walk signal to go across. Oh, there it is. I got the walk signal. People still turning left. Got another lime right up ahead. Oh, and that looks like an older style lime, like the ones that I have. Oh, maybe not. I can see it's different as I'm getting closer to it. Doesn't look like the same model that I just walked by there over at the Starbucks there. Well, this definitely looks like a different scooter model, but decidedly different than the Lime 2.5 that I have. I'm not even sure how many Lime 2.5s I have at this point. None of my scooters have been rideable for over a year, so they're just kind of taking up space in my storage and in my kitchen. Yeah, that's something I should search. Oh, see, yeah, that's a lot different. And this one here has clearly got a removable battery pack right there in front of the place where you stand. It has bent handlebars. And whereas that one doesn't. Hey, I really wish that the juicer program still existed like it did prior to the beginning of 2020. Because I would love to still be juicing limes on the side. But from what I understand now, you need to set up a whole actual, like some kind of a corporation and stuff. There's a whole lot of red tape involved now to get in to lime juicing. And from what I understand, the pay is terrible, which makes me wonder why anybody would even go through that much hassle. So yeah, popped into T-Mobile and told the gal in there like what I was dealing with as far as, you know, the phone, how I couldn't find the slot to take the back off of it, and that eventually the woman with the customer support for Assurance Wireless said that, you know, that they were affiliated with T-Mobile and that a T-Mobile store could help me out. Yeah, the woman who was in there had definitely never seen this model phone before. Definitely not seen this particular model phone before. It's obviously not one that T-Mobile sells their customers. And it took her a while to figure it out. She did eventually find a little. It does have a notch, but it's not adjacent to the back. It's adjacent to the screen, and it's a tiny notch. Like I absolutely didn't see it at all. And she said that it really threw her for a loop too, because when the back panel pops off, the back panel also includes the side panel. But to look at the phone, you would think that the sides were the body of the phone, and the back panel was the back panel, like most phones are. But the sides, it's molded in a way. It looks like it's two pieces, but it's not. But yeah, she managed to do it, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not leaving here until I know how to do it. and then I asked her, like, how the hell did you figure that out? And she's just like, well, you know, I work around. Says I work with. Oh, there's some lovely artwork. It's like, yeah, I work with cell phones all day, as I'm in the habit of pulling different types of phones apart. And I'm like, well, appreciate it, thank you. But anyway, so eager to get home and get that phone back in use, or get the new phone. You know, get it to where I can use it. Interestingly enough, I did actually have power to my old Obamaphone, and so I was showing her the screen just to show her how bad I messed it up, and then I was gonna show her how it doesn't sense touch anymore, and I can't use the phone anymore. And I swiped up, and for the first time since I dropped it off my forklift about 3 weeks ago, I swiped up and it sensed my touch and gave me the option to put my PIN number in to unlock the phone. And then I was able to unlock it. I'm like, this is crazy. I said, it hasn't done this in weeks. And then it was getting all kinds of notifications, loads and loads of notifications. So she kind of had her doubts. She's like, well, you said that the customer service person had got your other phone, switched your service for your other phone, but it sure looks like your service is still on this old phone since you're getting all those notifications. Now, I honestly don't know. She seemed down to help me resolve that there, but as a brand new phone, it went to the setup screen, and I didn't get very far past that. Like, it was trying to get me to connect to a network. Yeah, I'm not really trying to do that there. And then at one point it said it needed to head out and download some big update before it could do anything. And I'm just like, yeah, I'll figure this out when I get home. Thank you, though. Anyway, I'm popping into Fry's. I'm gonna just get me a loaf of bread. I don't much need anything else right now. Yeah, I'll be back on the walk home from here, because why the hell not? Yeah, I can't help but notice that lately the music they play inside Fry's is actually music that I really, really like. And it's not like old music like it used to always be. As I was at the checkout line, they were playing "Save Your Tears" by The Weeknd. As I mentioned before, I freaking love that song. So it's 11:11 a.m. Still Friday. As a dispatcher I used to work with many years ago used to say, it's a flock of ones. It's always stuck with me, and that was clear back in like the early 1990s. I really, not only do I really miss being a cab driver, but even the last several years when I was a cab driver, I really miss being a cab driver with live human radio dispatching. There was just something about that was just so engaging that has been lost in the days of computerized dispatching. In fact, of so many different dispatchers that I've worked with over the years, but of all the different ones I worked with, probably the one that will most stick in my mind was in the I want to say the late 90s when I worked for AAA Cab. Guy's name was Ray. He was the afternoon dispatcher, and he was usually the one that was on the radio when I would come out to work. I usually wake up in the afternoon. I forget exactly what hours he worked, but he was usually already on the radio when I came on and worked well into the evening. And that dude could have seriously been an actual broadcasting radio personality for a sports talk station. And I'm not just saying that. I really feel he could have been. I feel like he missed his calling by becoming a taxi dispatcher. Oh wow, check out that scooter. Judging from the lock, I'm gonna say that's somebody's personal scooter and not a rental. Never seen one like this before. Not so fond of the seat, but hey, sometimes it feels good to sit down. I'm sure you could ride it standing up though. OKAI. Oh, different. Anyway, yeah, Ray. Not only did Ray's voice sound like really good and clear on the radio, but somehow he would simultaneously dispatch AAA's cabs, which was busy. Our dispatch was really busy. But he would also be doing all this commentary about mostly sports and whatever was happening. And people would interact with it, drivers would interact with it. And as I mentioned before, back in that era, AAA's dispatch had this, and I dispatched there part-time, so I got the thrills and spills of dealing with that as well. But we had a foot pedal, which, if it was depressed, allowed drivers to hear what the other drivers were saying, as long as the dispatcher wasn't actively talking, and because that would of course mute them. And then if the dispatcher would lift his foot, it would silence the channel. So it was kind of neat. Like he'd put in pauses long enough to let drivers comment on whatever the hell he was commenting on, so the other drivers could hear it. And it was, for me, as somebody that previously worked in broadcasting, lime scooter on the ground. And I do find it funny, I'm seeing way more limes, and I'm not seeing any spin scooters over here now. It's all lime. And spin was here a couple weeks before lime was. Anyway, back to Ray. Yeah, Ray was, it was just so entertaining. And of course, I think part of the entertainment, at least for other drivers, was was hearing Ray and I bicker, but it was always like in good fun. I don't know. I'm just picky. I'm just, and it could be a sign. It's a sign of autism. When you fixate so much on details that other people would just not notice the difference of. Like when he'd say that there was a call pending. Like one thing we used to go round and round on, Ray and I. He'd say there'd be a call pending at I-17 in Dunlap. I'd be like, there is nothing at I-17 in Dunlap. That's a freeway interchange. Is it 29th Avenue in Dunlap, or is it 29th Avenue in Dunlap, or is it so that's not a street corner, that's a freeway. Is it 29th Avenue in Dunlap, or is it 25th Avenue in Dunlap? And be like, I don't know. I'm like, well, you're the dispatcher, you need to know that. So I need to know that. I'm not taking it from you until you can answer that question. Which of course made me just sound like such an insufferable dick on the radio. But it made a big deal to me as a driver, because Ray would be working in the afternoon. That's afternoon rush hour, where traffic would get really hectic. And a lot of through a good portion of the time period when Ray was dispatching and I was driving for AAA cab, was when ADOT was expanding I-17. And was I saying I-25? I meant I-17. My inner Wyoming eye wants to call every... Where are you going, jackass? Love how he wasn't even going to slow down and yield to me. I'm a pedestrian in a parking lot. God damn, you're supposed to not be driving that fast in a parking lot. You're supposed to yield to all pedestrians in a parking lot. Meanwhile, here's one of these killing machine trucks. This blows my mind how automakers somehow feel it's acceptable to make passenger motor vehicles for the general public that have a hood that's as high as the chest of an adult man. Hey, but at least Camaros still exist and they're still cool. Anyway, guys, big ass, ugly ass trucks everywhere. Yeah, at that time the I-17 was being widened and most of the intersections of the I-17 were being redone. So not only was the afternoon traffic at all I-17 intersections terrible, which, I mean, they as long as I can remember since I was a kid in the 70s, those intersections have been pretty terrible, but they were extra bad. She's cute. I don't want to chat her up, but she's pretty focused on moving her palate. It's freaking cute though. Anyway, yeah, so I-17 intersections have always been pretty bad for traffic, and were especially bad during that time period because of the construction going on I-17 in the intersections, particularly Dunlap. And so I'd ask that because for me it made a big difference. I need to know what side of the freeway it was on. I needed to know that by pending call points of either 29th Avenue or 25th Avenue. Because if it was, and if I was asking, it meant I was kind of close. And if it was on the same side of the freeway, the I-17 freeway that I was on, I'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to back road my way into whatever business it is. But if it involved me trying to cross I-17 during afternoon rush, forget about it. Not worth it to me to be stuck in a traffic clusterfuck for potentially 15-20 minutes while that person gets frustrated and tired of waiting for their taxi and just leaves. That ends up being 20 minutes I don't get paid for. Waste of my time. I'd rather just chase further away from the freeway and get away from that traffic snag. You know, like if I just happen to be at, like, say 19th Avenue in Dunlap, and don't ask me to cross I-17, I just as soon go all the way into Central Sunny Slope than fight traffic trying to cross I-17. And it's funny, like, I had chats with Ray when I'd go into the office and he'd be there, just telling him, it's just so you know, I'm not saying it to be a dick. And he's like, no, I get it. He goes, he's like, you're one of the few drivers that understands that shit. Because I'm just trying to dumb it down for the other drivers that don't know the difference between 25th Avenue and 29th Avenue. And he goes, to be honest, sometimes I'm not sure. The address, I'm not really sure what side it's on. So, kind of funny. So one day I actually got to sit down and show him on a map, like, the alignment of I-17. And say, hey, so you know, let me show you. Let me show you what numbers are on what side of this freeway, so you know. But it's kind of cool. Like, on the same time, like, sometimes Ray would be like, some driver would be having trouble finding something, and he'd refer to me as Triple Deuce Mobile Dispatch. Triple Deuce, you out there? Can you help guide this guy? That's Triple Deuce Mobile Dispatch. He'll guide you in. Oh man, this guy, like, just redid his fence and painted it up all nice, and some asshole has already smacked into it and ruined it. Shit like that just pisses me off. Surely it was a hit and run too. Not cool. Not cool at all. So yeah, my tags have been expired for a wee bit. And because of Rob's dad's funeral, he's not going to be in his shop until Monday, which is yeah, I'm a little nervous about the fact that I'm driving without current tags, especially considering that my daughter got a ticket for that not too long ago, and I gave her so much shit about it. I know you got to stay on top of that, blah blah blah, and I'm like, yeah, way to lead by example there, Dad. Anyway, I haven't got a ticket for it, but I'm definitely trying to not get a ticket for it. So I asked Rob if he'd help me with the he's helped me with that before, where he's got on the, like, he knows exactly how to get on the ADOT website, and or the Arizona MVD website, and of course has an actual desktop computer with a printer. I was able to print those, which of course I do actually have a Windows computer now, but I still don't have a printer of any kind. But I asked if he could, you know, if he'd be able to help me with that anytime soon. And he suggested I just splurge $7 and go to a third-party DMV. And there's actually one really close to me, the PLS, that I regularly go to get my free money order for my rent. They're also a third-party MVD. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go do that. And I think I'm gonna take either a Lime scooter or a Spin scooter to go do that, because that sounds like a fun thing to do right now while it's so beautiful outside. I want to say it's like in the high 60s today, and this is the weather people move to Arizona for. It's absolutely beautiful out right now. It's like, it's not hot, it's not cool, it's just flip flops, jeans, and t-shirt weather for sure. Anyway, thanks for coming with me on the walk, and hopefully the next video segment I can film with my new Obamaphone. It won't be all twitchy like this messed up camera on my iPhone.